Man, so let me see what I want to precept at. Alright, here we go. So book of Daniel chapter 10. In verse 5 it says, Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man, clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with a fine gold of Uphaz. His body was also like the beryl, his face was the appearance of lightning, his eyes as lamps of fire, his arms and his feet like in the color of polished brass. Now, none of these people fit this. So who is this talking about? None of these people look like no brass. I know who look like some brass stuff. You do too? No. Go down some more. Like in colors of polished brass, and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude. So you bet your last dollar when Esau see them angels, they see Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, Raphael, and all the other angels. You best believe they ass gonna bug out, but they still gonna fight though, because the Most High gonna put the spirit on the fight. Close this up. And simultaneously while they're wiping them out. Let's see. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 31. But yeah, I'm going to start at verse 30 and I'll just go up and read down. But yeah. Let me see. Verse 29, it said, Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Then shall appear the signs of the Son of Man in heaven. Then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now, don't sound like everybody getting picked up, man. It's not. That's not what's going on. Well, you listen to others, so they'll tell you everybody gonna do it. We all gonna be saved. That's real far from the truth. And I want about to say, I'll be able to elect. Because once this judgment go down, man, it's gonna be terrible. You can just feel it in the air. If you got any spiritual sense, you can really feel it in the air. When you go out in public or you see what's going on around the world. You actually really got eyes to see and ears to hear, so to speak. Let me go back. That's another precept I want to get right in this. So, another main point of this video, while they doing this, let's believe they plotting on all type of stuff. They ain't putting it in the actual footage, but in the back rooms, they speaking on, well, you know you have these guys out now that's reading the scriptures and preaching the word, trying to wake their people up and alert them and let them know who they are, where we come from. Speaking about prophecy, what's supposed to happen soon, saying that they know our plans. Oh yeah, they speaking on that. So that's the book of Psalm, right? Chapter 83. Let's see if this is the right one. Yep. This book of Psalm, chapter 83. It says, For lo, thy enemies make a tumult And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more of remembrance. You go ask 100 motherfuckers right now, what's your nationality? What you think they gonna say? Most of them, they're not gonna say nothing about no Israel. They ain't even gonna wanna own up to that. They're like, oh, you must have been reading that book, or you must have heard them guys on the corners or whatever. It says, for they are consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Amalek, Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines of the heavens as a Tyre. The Syr also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. With their nobles like a rod, and Zaab, and all the princes, as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, let us take ourselves to the houses of Yahweh in possession. You see, this how stuff worked though. Because you reap what you sow. Whatever you do, that shit come right back. That's why, especially in these times, I've been seeing a lot of judgment like go on, like instant judgment. And people be like karma or whatever, but it's really just judgment. Whatever you're putting out, that shit coming right back. It might come back the next day. So you gotta try to do as many good deeds as you can. Don't fuck nobody over, because it might come to you in the worst way. See, what happened with Esau was they had a little streak. They just been doing shit. They ain't really get no judgment for it, but like the book of Amos, so let me go to it. I won't even pull it out, pull it real quick. I think about this every fucking day. Think about this every day. This book of Amos. Book of Amos, I'm just read on down. Book of Amos chapter 9 verse 2, it says, though they dig in the hill, they shall my hand take them. Though they climb with the heavens, that's when I bring them down. Somebody digging in the hell, because you can't dig in the hell. That's why it's good to read this book, man, because it tell you judgment is played out on earth. Your soul ain't going nowhere to burn up forever, because your soul, it's a fight, it's a fire, it's a flame. So how fire you gonna burn up forever? It says, that shall my hand take them, though they climb up the heaven, that's why I bring them down. Esau got that Space Force, that 6th branch of the military, space hotels, so on and so on. But they gonna get brought down. So though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, this will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. Though they go into captivity before their enemies, this will I command the sword, and shall slay them, and I will set my eyes upon them for evil and not for good. It says, that the Lord Yahweh, the power of hosts, is he that toucheth the land, and it shall melt, and all that dwell therein shall mourn, and it shall rise up wholly like a flood. It shall be drowned as by the flood of Egypt. See, this other flood is going to be with a fire, not with no water, though. That's even worse than water. At least water, you can swim for a little minute and try to, regain your composure and float. Ain't no swimming and floating in no damn fire. Now it says, it is he that buildeth his stores in the heaven, and hath founded his troops in the earth. He that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. Yahweh is his name. Are you not as children of Ethiopians unto me, or children of Israel, saith the Lord? Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt? So just keep this in mind. I remember when we was in middle school, and we had history class, this one story always stood out to me a lot, and I said something to the teacher, and she let me know, like, I know something, basically keep researching and trying to figure out stuff. They can't really tell you too much. They get paid to follow a curriculum. They're not going to tell you what you really should know. It says, have not I brought you up out of Israel, out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Captor, and the Syrians from Ker? Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. So when you be around people and they be talking about what's your next 10-year plan and all this bullshit, they don't know about this stuff. They ain't watching this. They haven't seen this, and they damn sure ain't watching this. And when you go to what they talking about, all they talking about is nukes, nukes. That's it. That's all they talking about. They're not talking about no, oh, we finna go open up the treasury and give back reparations, and we're gonna give people land. All this land is available. We're gonna let people till it and build it up. They're not talking about it. They're talking about nukes. And the reason why they talking about nukes because the Most High put the spirit on them to talk about it, and he gonna put the spirit on them to use them against each other, to wipe each other out. That's why it says, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth. That's the only thing that's gonna take some off the face of the earth. And it says it's gonna destroy the whole earth because the earth's still gonna stay. Like the scripture says, the earth abideth forever. It says, saying that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. It says the Lord, for lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, because we scattered amongst all nations. Because I tried to break this down to some people recently, and they completely couldn't see what the hell I was talking about. Because once again, I just said, just for edification's sake, if I go to Poland, I always use Poland because I know Polish people. If I go to Poland, if I go to Bosnia, if I go to Istanbul, if I go to Turkey, if I go to Tibet or wherever, if I go to any of these different places and I get with a woman and she get pregnant and she have a son, that son keep having sons, that's how Israel is scattered among all nations. It says, like as corn is sifted in the sea, and it shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And now, yeah, see, that's how you know the Most High is going to jack up a lot of our people now, because got a lot of people promoting this demon time shit, or I'm a demon shit. That's fucking stupid. But, hey, that's what people want to be on now, so they're going to get the judgment of a demon. In verse 11, which is what I was getting to, it says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, close of the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess who? Edom, they the main ones. It says, and all of the heathen which are called by my name, said the Lord that doeth this. And hey man, this I crave to see this day. If you got any sense of balance, everything our people went through, paid for it. Majority of us don't learn our lesson. Now it's time for those who put us through that and learn their lesson too. So just want to bring this up. How the wine rises up. It's edifying to call all Yahawashi and Shalom to the left.